feel when it's done right. Now, I have been in many relationships in my past, and some of them have on paper looked amazing. Some of them have been dramatic and tumultuous, which oftentimes was a reflection of what was going on inside of me, but I never realized that when done right, when someone is loving you in a space, in a space that is right, I think it is oftentimes crazy and liberating how much that can really change things. Hold on, guys. I'm going to stick a pin. Let me tell y'all how much that people in my life actually don't give a fuck that I do this podcast. I am in the middle of recording and up walks my dad just talking to me. It's not like it doesn't look like I'm recording. It actually looks like it. Why they be playing us like this though? Anyways, but what I was saying was that I was giving a testimony about how when done right, when you are, I want y'all to understand the balance between, and we normally don't get into talk like this until the end, but the balance between the life that we live and the life that we want is the understanding that there is always going to be joy and pain, sunshine, rain. There's always going to be, that's the whole idea of God saying to you, those who want to follow me got to pick up their cross, come follow me. The love is not perfect, but when executed correctly, you feel like you can do anything in the world. When someone is loving you properly, you are supposed to feel empowered, emboldened. You are supposed to not feel the negative vibrations of insecurity and things like that. You are supposed to be able to live and breathe in the fact that love is a positive vibration and it should feel liberating. So, I wanted to just give a shout out to that. Listen, I think for me, it's just one of those things that I'm experiencing that at 40 going on 41. And it's the first time that I've ever felt that way. It's not that I have never experienced love. I've just never experienced it like this. And the trip is to experience it like this with someone that you've already had a relationship with. So if I could, I know a lot of people aren't advocates for going back to your exes, niggas don't like to body that bag, truthfully, the question is, how many of y'all would ever go back to your ex or have gone back to exes? I'm actually someone who would say, I don't go back. I really, I prefer not to go back, especially if the way we parted ways was tumultuous, it's probably best that I not go back, But if you are going to body the bag of going back to your ex, I think there's some things that you have to understand. And we're going to talk about that more in the setting of the table. So I'm not even going to get full throttle into it. But, that's just what I'll say. Okay. Anywho's, so you guys, what's the deal with, okay. Have you guys seen Khloe's face? Khloe, I don't know. Now, here's the thing that I know about the Kardashians, because I know a lot of you guys have gone in. Khloe posted a picture, I believe, sometime over the weekend where she unveiled seemingly a new face, Khloe Kardashian, Chlorenthal J. Kardashian. I love her. You know, y'all are never going to get me to go super, super hard on the Kardashians because, to be honest with you, at this point, they've been a part of our lives for, almost 20 years now. You know, I mean, you know what you're getting. You know what time it is, And let's not fake jacks like many of you hoes ain't out here trying to rep that set too, trying to look just like them. Let's not act like a lot of you bitches ain't out here wearing leotards and bike shorts outside and onesies and shit like overgrown babies because y'all are not following in the footsteps of the Kardashians. Let's not act like that. I mean, let's not act like they're not the people that we love to hate, okay? Let's just not act like that. And that's fine. Listen, just because I'm a fan doesn't mean you have to be. I am a fan, though. But I also know that there's a balance to everything. And that these bitches really do take some shit too far. And they got these black fucking kids. I will give Kim the pat on her back because she is really... I think that in one sense, she's doing a lot to exonerate people who have been wrongly put into incarceration and through the legal system. And I think that that's great that she's using her celebrity power to do that. But I think that the missing link here with us and the Kardashians, or at least myself and the Kardashians, has always been that when it comes to situations where black people need white voices, especially white voices who claim to be allies and who have as much power as the Kardashians do, I think that oftentimes in everyday situations, they don't use their voice to just come out and say the things that need to be said. I think it's okay for them to come out and say, you know what? No, y'all really are disrespectful to black women. And yes, we see y'all swag, black women. We appreciate y'all swag. We jack y'all swag. And we know what time it is. You know what I mean? But don't not call a thing a thing. And I see that, you guys love your black men and, you love your little black babies and stuff. And that's great. I think you should. But I also think that like in everyday situations, it's okay to also, if you're going to say that you're an ally, which they've never said. Let's also say that just because they fuck black men and they have black kids, these women have never said that they were our allies. We just feel like they should be because. But they've never said, I've never heard them bitches say that they are our allies. So I don't think that they're perpetrating a fraud because they never said that they was a friend of mine. Period. Now, I still like them bitches, but I just know what time it is. Anyway, Khloe unveiled a new face. Now, if you know anything about these girls, you know that they have different makeup artists who really subscribe to different looks. Mario, who has been with Kim for years and have done some collaboration. He doesn't really do this pumped up interracial girl look. That's not his thing. That's more Ariel and Harush, really. Like, and those girls, they really get into that look. I don't see that look as something that the other girls do. Now, this picture that Khloe posted, she is very bronzed. Her nose is very contoured. Her eyebrows, her face is very contoured. Her lips are very plumped. Her eyebrows are very dark. Her hair is a dirty brown, blonde, streaked color. I mean, she definitely looks like she's giving you, darker skinned black or lighter skinned, ambiguously black girl, which we'll get to Doja Cat in a minute. But, listen, I thought she looked great. I mean, I'm sorry, I do. I thought she looked great. I thought the contouring was amazing. Many of us have been saying that Khloe has had some sort of facial something. I mean, I definitely know that she's probably gotten fillers and this and that, but I think she contours very well. I think they They know which makeup artist to work with if they want a desired look. I think what was even more telling was, I think her caption was, getting under bitches' skin. Yes, you better get under the black bitch's skin, Khloe. I read you. And the fact that her black baby father, Mr. Tristan, was like, oh, here for the caption. Listen, I let me also say this. I think that these women know very well what kind of reaction they're going to incite by doing certain things. You know, I think that they have been often tone deaf in the past to cultural and racial situations. The Skims thing, you know, them dressing culturally inappropriate, you know, different things, you know. And I mean, listen, we've all been here. I'm not going to act like I've never put on, when kimonos was popping, I put on a kimono. Not Kim's former line name kimono, but an actual, like, fake kimono. I've worn one before. You know, listen, I don't know. I don't know what to say about any of it. You know what else I don't know what to say anything about? Did you guys watch the docuseries on ESPN, The Last Dance, documenting Michael Jordan's final season? I did catch a few episodes. I think overall it was decent. I think the last 2 episodes were kind of unnecessary. I think instead of them really giving us a lot about who Michael was as an overall person, I think they used a lot of other people's missteps to highlight Michael's decisions, which I found to be very interesting. It was like, oh, so other people's mistakes caused me to do this. Not necessarily like showing him as a fallible person. You know, as far as I could see, it comes off a lot as like he used other people's human qualities to excuse some of his behavior. I don't know. And, you know, the argument in terms of socio-political Michael and, you know, the fact that he was very tone deaf to his shoes and the pricing and what it did to the culture, and comments that he even made back then about who should be wearing his shoes, etc., etc. I think it was stupid for them to not touch on that. You know, I've heard other people argue the fact that, like, you know, that's not who he was as a person. He wasn't this socio-political figure. And, you know, what he did was this big black guy playing, you know, I think I heard Whoopi Goldberg say something to the effect of, here's this big black guy playing basketball and winning all over the world and being excellent in his craft. And that was his political and cultural stance. I don't think that was his political stance, Whoopi. I think that might have been his cultural stance, and culture in terms of the sport culture. Not necessarily, to me, culture in terms of the black culture. I think we embraced him as a hero of the black culture because he's black, and he was and is seen as the kind of, you know, apex in his sport. And we appreciate him for that. But I do think that the misstep was not really showing and giving us more about who he was as an actual human, you know? So that was just my opinion. But one thing you'd like to know is that Michael Jordan's 1972 Nike Waffle Racing Flat Moon shoe is now the second best selling shoe of all time, as Sotheby's sold Michael Jordan's game-worn autograph Nike Air Jordan 1s from his game, from a game that he played. He sold it on the Sotheby's auction for $560,000. This is now the most expensive pair of sneakers ever sold. So, shout out to Michael for that. Why are you girls mad at Doja Cat? Apparently Doja is out here, you guys are wanting to cancel her because a video surfaced of Doja engaging in a chat room with Caucasian men.